the military operations being carried out in all the states of the Federation. Burutai, who appeared before the Senate Committee on Army to defend the 2018 budget proposed by the Nigerian Army, noted that agitations had spread across the country since 2015, making the military to be deployed for internal security operations. The Army Chief also decried the envelope budgeting system adopted by the federal government, which he said had limited the outfit's access to funds. The Army Chief also decried that the Ministry of Finance was distorting Nigerian Army's power consumption bill from source, urging the Senate to stop the withdrawals. A federal high court in Abuja has ruled that the Senate is conferred with the authority to ensure the choice of only suitable and credible persons for appointment to the office. The court gave the ruling on Thursday in determining the suit challenging the Senate's authority to deny an appointee to the office of the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, under the Commissions Act. Chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Sabi Abdullahi, said the ruling has vindicated the Red Chamber. He called on the president to send in another nominee, Oxide Magu. The Senate rejected Magu's nomination as the chairman of the Anti-Graft Agency, citing a report by the Department of State Security which deemed him unfit for the role. And in another development, the senators expressed serious concerns over the continuous outbreak of Lassa fever in Nigeria and urged its committees on health, primary health care and communicable diseases to look into the outbreak and see how it can be stopped permanently. The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, has said the increasing number of health workers infected with Lassa fever is due to their refusal to take precautionary measures while treating patients, a statement some Nigerians said is uncalled for.
Lassa fever has a vaccine. That vaccine prototype is lying right there in the US. Not until we have vaccines, of course our doctors will die. Not until we have the right facilities, of course our doctors will die. Our doctors are not robots. Our doctors are human beings. Lassa is a transmittable disease. You don't expect our doctors not to catch it, especially when they're exposed to it. And the only way we can cop it is using vaccines.
The minister to make that kind of statement, it's not called for. For us not to have those facilities, that means something is wrong somewhere. So that statement, he shouldn't have said that. It's so unfortunate that the kind of country we are, anything goes. In the UK, you can't try this. It's only in Nigeria, people get away with derogative statements. If the government had provided the basic amenities, a conducive environment, we will not be getting all this.
If it's the outside country, they will provide all the facilities that they need. As a good hospital, if they have what they need to handle the case, there is no how to affect doctors. It's just like when Ebola sickness come. Our government, they didn't provide the necessary things they're supposed to provide. So if there is the adequate things they're supposed to provide, it will not affect doctors because they are to rescue. So at this still why they will still be victim of the matter.
Most of these diseases, they can no longer be effective to antibiotics. The only way you can tackle it is using vaccine. So not until the government come out to say, hey, how do we really get the right vaccines, or how do we have our vaccine factory here in this country? We can't keep buying. To buy vaccine for typhoid alone, you know how much is it? But if we build a vaccine factory in Nigeria, such a vaccine will be sold at a fraction. Even a wheelbarrow pusher, knowing the effect of what that vaccine will do to him, he will save his 100 naira and buy vaccine for himself.
The House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts has directed the management of the Public Complaints Commission to refund the sum of 20 million naira into the consolidated fund, following its inability to justify expenditures. The committee also directed the management of the commission to remove some officers alleged to have played roles in a certain overseas training exercise during which bogus amounts were claimed as pocket monies. The committee handed the ruling during a session with management officers of the Commission led by its Executive Secretary, Mohammed Abdul, following queries against the Commission by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation, AGF. Responding, Abdul, however, told the committee that having just been briefed of the query and considering that he assumed office as head of the Commission recently, he would require some time to gather more facts about the said transaction and communicate his team's position to it. As FCT residents continue to grapple with housing deficits occasioned by the high cost of accommodation in Abuja, the issue of illegal shanties built directly under high tension in parts of the territory is what has raised much concerns. Abuja is described as one of the fastest growing cities in the world and also counted amongst the most expensive cities in Africa. Many houses have remained unoccupied years after completion as a result of the high cost of renting or leasing, which made them beyond the reach of the ordinary man. In this interview, some residents cautioned that the housing issues in Abuja should not allow people endanger their lives in such a huge manner.
There should be a deliberate action where any building from where the high tension is should be about 150 meters away from high tension because of the risk involved. And we've lost a lot of life. There should be a deliberate action where you compel people to live there. We don't even have the right to take our lives. And it is the duty of government to protect the life of every citizen. So compelling them to leave places like that is not against the law.
Apart from health hazards that follow such unguarded building, you see the facilities where you talk of electric poles and the aluminium wires that they use can at any given time get broken or cut. You see electrocution endangering lives of our own selves, and we must check it.
The idea and the culture of building under high tension cable is very, very unfortunate, and I see that singular act as a suicide mission in the sense that how on earth a right thinking person will see high tension cable and you go ahead to go and build under it. It has been marked out that it is a place that you don't even near because of the vibration of the cable. So government should be alive to their responsibility. Once you see any structure coming up under high tension cable, they should immediately mark it down and demolish it. You don't allow people complete that structure and start living inside before you now be marking it down.
The coordinator, Abuja Metropolitan Management Council AMMC, Umar Shaibu, had said over 750 illegal shanties were built directly under high tension in parts of Lugbe, Abuja. He said all such structures under the electricity facility will soon be removed, including those that breach the legally permitted 30 meters proximity to high tension. Barely hours after Governor Darius Ishaku of Taraba State cried out that the state was going to be attacked in 10 days, unnamed gunmen suspected to be herdsmen attacked and killed 4 persons in Ugetsen village of Urujan ward in Gasol local government area of Taraba State. The attackers were said to have arrived at the village at about 9 p.m. on Thursday with sophisticated arms and also in large numbers. Warujan is about 20 kilometers away from Jibu village, where the Special Senior Assistant on Media and Publicity to Governor Darius Ishaku, Bala Dan Habu, recently alleged that the helicopter landed with arms. We'll take a short break now, but we'll be right back. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, reports say all 955 workers from a gold mine in South Africa have been safely brought back to the surface. They had been trapped underground since a power cut struck on Wednesday night. James Wellstead, a spokesman for the operating firm Sabine Stillwater, said there were cases of dehydration and high blood pressure, but nothing serious. South Africa is a leading gold producer, but safety in the industry is often questioned. The Beatrice mine has 23 levels, going down to 1,000 meters below the ground. The accident is thought to have occurred when a storm knocked over an electricity pylon close to the site, triggering a huge power cut. But on Friday morning, electricity was finally restored to a lift, enabling the workers' release. More than 80 fatalities were recorded in South African mines in 2017 alone. A report said at least 90 people were feared dead on Friday in the latest migrant tragedy in the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Libya, the UN Migration Agency said. The International Organization for Migration, in a statement, added that 10 bodies are reported to have washed up on Libyan shores, including 2 Libyan nationals and 8 Pakistanis. The agency has repeatedly issued warnings over the extreme dangers facing migrants who try to reach Europe, the Mediterranean route which connects Libya to Italy. Excluding Friday's tragedy, 218 migrants have already died on the central route in 2018, according to UN figures. And in sports, Super Eagles coach Salisu Yusuf has said Morocco is beatable in the final game of the CAF African Nations Championship billed for Sunday in Casablanca. Gabriel Okechukwu's 16th-minute strike sealed the victory for the Super Eagles, who are reaching the finals for the first time since the inception of the tournament in 2011. Morocco fought for 120 minutes to subdue Libya in the semi-final game with a 3-1 win. The Atlas Lions have not lost a match in the tournament, and they scored 7 goals while conceding just 1. Nigeria, on the other hand, scored 7 goals and conceded 2 goals. And that's the news for this hour, but we'd like to remind you that the Army Chief has said poor funding is crippling security operations in Nigeria. We also told you that the court has ruled in favor of Senate over rejection of Magu as EFCC chairman. On the foreign scene, South Africa gold mine, all 955 trapped workers freed. And in sports, Super Eagles coach says Nigeria can beat Morocco in the final game in Chan 2018 on Sunday. Thank you for listening. My name is Oikike Igado Kure.